Mr. Libby, from you first. What do you think happened at Alaska when Putin visited over there?
Well, from the perspective of many observers, Trump walked away with nothing at that moment, but Lev may disagree. It was a jumble of outcomes. And then he began to claim, as he usually does, a victory. Lev can speak quite thoroughly to this episode, as well as to Donald Trump's tactics, because Lev was inside the White House and studied the man close up. So I'll turn it over to Lev, if you don't mind.
Well, I will go to Lev, but I want your version first. What do you think of that? What do you think happened over there?
I think it was a spectacle that made the United States look weak. I think that when soldiers lay down a red carpet for an acknowledged, well, he's not an acknowledged war criminal by himself, but for somebody who invaded a sovereign country and got away with it, it's a bit disconcerting for Americans to see. But Americans have short, if no memory, of history. These are the kind of episodes that have happened in the past, particularly around World War II, when famously England's Neville Chamberlain declared peace in our time, when Hitler was preparing to invade Czechoslovakia after saying he would not do it. And these episodes, and there's been others, show me at least one thing: you cannot trust dictators at their word.
Well, I think Trump made it loud and clear before getting to the conversation that he wants ceasefire, and it's non-negotiable, and it said it's of no use if he doesn't get a ceasefire. Lev, do you think that Trump wasn't successful, and would you agree with Libby's comments on that?
Oh, well, first of all, thank you for having me. And Rich is right. First of all, Trump embarrassed the United States on the world platform. But for those of you that follow me or watch my writings on Substack, I've been talking about this even previously before the meeting in Alaska, and this was all staged. This was theatrics. Donald Trump is a showman. They did not sit there. Just so you understand, I was an official translator also in Trump's world between certain oligarchs, Rudy Giuliani in Vienna, in the UK, and I could tell you how it works. That 3-hour meeting between the pleasantries, between the goodbyes, between the translators translating back and forth and going out, you could probably narrow it down to about an hour and a half. So for anybody to think that in an hour and a half they flew all that time, all of that from one side to the other to sit there for an hour and a half, and in an hour and a half they were able to negotiate and talk about all of these complicated situations having to do with land swaps and everything. It's all theatrics. It was all done to be able to, for Donald Trump to take away from what was going on here in the United States with the Epstein cover-up. And for Vladimir Putin, it was another way, because right before this happened, if you remember, there were supposed to be major sanctions levied on Vladimir Putin. There was a lot of things happening. So it was another way of basically moving the goalpost and moving it forward. So when you say, was there accomplished? I mean, for Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, a lot was accomplished. But for the United States and for Ukraine, nothing was accomplished. Because you also don't talk about the financial deals that are going back and forth, because of the real negotiation is taking place behind the scenes with people like Steve Witkoff, like Kirill Dmitriev, the people that were there. These are the people that, and I've been reporting and talking about, that are making the real deals that are behind the scenes. The deals that Trump is literally negotiating with land that he doesn't own, with minerals that he doesn't control, with a Ukrainian sovereignty that he has no right to do. Today, I'm also talking about the meeting that they're going to have today. It's another part of theatrics. The media is chasing it, saying, "Oh, what are they going to talk about?" Listen, the facts are the facts. Ukraine is not giving up any land. Russia is not leaving without giving. They both said it. So the things that are going to be taking place behind the scenes is going to be more theatrics, more Trump, as I call it. Him trying to be that mobster that he always wanted to be by trying to negotiate with Zelensky, by threatening him, then maybe promising him certain things and doing stuff like that, which my sources are reporting. So there's a lot that happens behind the scenes that nobody talks about, because what you're seeing play out is theatrics. I mean, this was all pre-planned, discussed. That's why before Putin even left American soil, the bombardment started on to Ukraine. Today, while Zelensky's coming to the office to meet with Trump, we're all talking about peace. But meanwhile, today, again, Russia is invading and hitting with missiles and jihads. So nothing is stopping. So there's no peace, and that's another thing I wrote in my Substack. Don't listen to what they're saying. Watch what they're doing. Watch their actions. Watch what Trump is doing. What
Well, the world was watching what was happening. We were watching that in Anchorage at the Elmendorf Richardson. We saw the red carpet welcome for the Putin. We saw the moment he was getting into the Beast. We saw a B-2 bomber flying right above him. We saw for after, like, I don't know how many years, but for the first time in my memory, we saw a president of the United States and president of Russia. They're both riding in the same car. We saw what was going on, and you just outrightly call it theatric. You both put me in a very difficult situation where I have to advocate for the Donald Trump, which I certainly do not want to. But what do we achieve, or what do United States achieve with all these so-called theatrics, as you say?
Well, see,
Let you first.
yeah, no, great question, Chef. And you gotta understand, see, when you say United States, we typically think that the president of the United States represents the United States first. With Donald Trump, you have to understand he represents himself. He's not mega where he's not even mega where it's America first. He's Donald Trump first, his family first, his legacy first. And that is what it's about. Then comes the interest of the United States, absolutely. They're not that far apart, but he comes first. So when we talk about what did Donald Trump achieve and what did America achieve? America didn't achieve anything. That's why I said America got embarrassed on the world stage. But it's not the first time. Look at Donald Trump's trip to the Middle East. Right before he went to the Middle East and took his prized possession of a Qatari jet or plane that they gave him, his kids, along with Steve Witkoff's son, which the media doesn't report, have traveled that same tour in the Middle East prior to Donald Trump and cut deals from real estate to cryptocurrency. This is all about transactional. Donald Trump is a transactional president. Everybody knows it. I know him very White House, but I was his personal guy that he sent in 2019 to Ukraine to deal with Zelensky. I was the guy that put pressure on Vladimir Zelensky to open an investigation into the Bidens. So I know very well the tactics Donald Trump uses and how he does it. I was his Steve Witkoff back then, if you know what I mean, Chef.
Time for a quick break here. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back to the discussion. You were saying?
I was saying that Lev is exactly right about Trump wanting things to turn out for his benefit. For example, right now, Washington, D.C.'s police force and political apparatus have been taken over by Donald Trump. Why? Because he's an autocrat in training. He wants people to think he can control everything. And let me give you a small anecdote. I teach at a university in downtown DC, and I've got an alert on my phone from the university saying, avoid this area. There is intense police activity. And I walked past because I had to go anyway. I saw 7 police cars lined up. What was the target? One homeless man in a tent. He's instilling fear in people because that's the way. A politician with the ability to pull those levers will instill fear. Now, this comment may get me kicked off every platform everywhere, but I think Americans see these things in a different context than journalists. I think they see him as a strong man, which is good, and these strong men then get feeling entitled to take other opportunities. For example, we know that Trump is saying no Article 5, no NATO protection for Ukraine. Why is that? Because that's the thing that would matter most to getting a free Ukraine. Maybe Lev won't agree, but that's my view.
No, no,